changing. We're flying high, creating a complaint-free world. No more, no more complaining. People, their lives are changing. We're flying high, creating a complaint-free world. No more, no more.
I want to get right into what it is we're continuing to talk about, and that is how to make 2021 the best year of your life. And if I'm not going to go through all the things we've already talked about, okay? There's no need for me to go through it. This is a 10-part series, and they're all on my blog, willbowen.com. Go to willbowen.com and click blog and go there. Every single one of them is posted. You can go back, watch them. You don't have to watch all the hellos. Oh, let me get Teddy. He just jumped into his basket. Come here, bud. Come here. Come here. Come. Jump. That's my boy. See, you can hardly see Teddy. I might have to hold you right up to the light. Dun, dun, dun. There is Ted. Here he is. That's my buddy. There we go. Please don't hit the keyboard. You might hang up on everybody. He's leaning into me, which means don't put me down. But I have to because I got to lean into the light myself. All right. So the reason I'm not going to go back and talk about the others, like I said, you can go back and you don't need to sit there and go through what I'm staying in silence. That's my aim. Speak less, speak truly, and speak softly. Jocelyn, great. Got it. So you are working on the one thing that's going to make 2021 the best year of your life, trying to figure out how to center myself here. So today I want to talk about, by the way, tomorrow is the last of the series. So we're going to talk about today what I'm calling We Don't Rent Pigs. Every time I write a new book, I have rituals. And one of those rituals is that I read the book On Writing by Stephen King. It inspires me. It teaches me a lot. Just his way of writing, I feel sort of sinks in, not in the horror sense. But the man's an amazing writer. He's written sold 2/3 of a billion books around the world. So I listened to this, and he talks about how the book Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry, which is by far my favorite fiction book, has the greatest dialogue of any book ever written. So this is Stephen King celebrating the book Lonesome Dove. Now, my favorite scene in the book Lonesome Dove, and in the movie as well, is where Augustus McCrae is slowly developing a sign over time. By that I mean he's taken a barn door that has fallen off and he's nailed it up and he's just slowly carving things into it, which are meant to bring customers into their livery stable rather. But at the bottom, there are two things that I think are really interesting. Number one, that he carves at the bottom, and I won't go through the whole thing. It is sometimes I will just go back and read that part. It's about 5 or 6 pages, and to me, it's hilarious, and the thinking behind it is hilarious. One of the things that it says is, we don't rent pigs, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We don't rent pigs. And at the beneath, we don't rent pigs, which I'm actually going to talk about first, is a Latin motto. And the Latin motto reads, Uva, Uvam, Vivindo, Varia, fit. Now, don't worry about it. Don't look it up. It's nonsense. Very similar to the one that we used yesterday. However, Augustus McCrae thought it was real. You see, he fancied himself to be a bit of an elite, intelligent cowboy, and he actually went to college, and he had studied Latin, and he had a book of Latin proverbs. The problem was he didn't have the translations, and when he carved this, he carved it wrong. I loved that part of the book so much that I did a lot of research and found out that the actual motto is Uva, Uvam, Vivindo, Varia, fit. Uva, Uvam, Vivindo, Varia, fit. Now, what does it mean? It means the smell of one grape, that's true too. The smell of one grape ripens another. Here's what I mean. In an orchard, one grape will ripen. It's not like with some plants, oh, look over here, this tomato is starting to ripen, and look over here, this tomato is starting to ripen, and look over here, this tomato is starting to ripen. That's not what happens with grapes. A grape, one single grape, will ripen, and it will then release an enzyme which will tell all the other grapes to ripen. And so that they ripen from one grape out. Isn't that fascinating? And it means that, of course, back in ancient Rome, they didn't know about enzymes, etc. They just noticed that one grape, and you can never know where it is. You can never know what part of the soil. You can never know what part of the orchard. But one grape will ripen, and it will spread from that. Uvam, Vivindo, Varia. The smell of one grape ripens another. What I have always taken this to mean is we have an impact on everyone around us. And when we ripen to an idea, whether it's good or bad, let me say that again. When we ripen to an idea, whether it is good or bad, when we begin to put the power of our belief behind it, we begin to ripen the people around us. And I don't always mean ripen in a good way. I mean impact. I mean spread that belief to others. We need to remember that also other people are constantly ripening us by their thoughts, by their words, by their actions. And most importantly, by the stories we tell in our heads based on their thoughts, their words, their deeds, and their actions. Teddy says yes. Teddy says amen. Take that in for a second. You're like a grape. And what I'm always hoping is that more and more people are going to ripen to being loving, helpful, hopeful, giving people, optimistic people. So I want to know if that's you. And then I want to tie this all back to the thing that comes above this Latin motto in Lonesome Dove. And that is that we don't rent pigs. If you are going to achieve your goal, now remember my goal is for 2021 is to launch a major network television show, which I'm working on. And as soon as I set that as a goal, all of a sudden people started springing forward who knew how to help me achieve that goal. When you have a goal, and it's a really, really big goal, stop renting the pigs that tell you it's a bad goal, or the pigs that would keep you from achieving that goal, or the pigs that would stop you from feeling like you are worthy of accomplishing this goal. Anything you desire, you deserve. Let me say that again. Anything you desire, you deserve. By the way, that one comment I have probably said more than anything else in the last 15 years of doing this. And it's the number one comment that pisses people off. Well, that's not true. What if you desire? Blah, 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 blah. You know, anything you desire, anything that you want that is going to bring true goodness to your life is not going to hurt anyone else, and you deserve it. And in fact, along the way, you're going to help a lot of people. So don't rent pigs. There are people who told me in the past that I wouldn't be a good host for a television show. There are people in the past who told me my idea for a television show wasn't a good one. And you know what? It's not that I don't take feedback from people. I'm just now listening to people who actually do television shows. And you know what they tell me? you're going to be a natural as a host. You get up and you do a 20-minute TV show every single morning with 5,000 viewers. Why would you not be equally competent on network? It's kind of amazing. So stop renting pigs, because the smell of one grape is going to ripen another. Being around these people is going to impact your belief in yourself and your actual ability to accomplish it. All right, everybody, let's give everybody. I saw a whole bunch of comments coming in. Let's check in, see what everybody has to say. Ashley Day says, good morning, Josh. That's right, says, stays in silence. Marge says, love Teddy. I do too. Teddy is going to the groomer today. In fact, my girlfriend is driving all the way from Key Largo to Miami just to get his little stinky face groomed. He gets stinky face because he likes to go, his face is like a sponge, and he goes and puts it inside of bushes full of dog pee because he's the shortest dog. Raquel says she loves Lonesome Dove. Me too. You know what? I have read it, which means listened to the audiobook, which is read by Lee Horsley, who did the TV show Matt Helms. I've listened to that, which it's 30 hours, the whole thing. I've listened to it probably 20 times. Listened to it twice last year. Let's see. Natasha says, happy Monday. The words always go together. Remember, Monday, Moon Day. It's a celebration of the moon. More kindness, says Raquel. Good goal, says Paula. Thank you. Willow Drinkwater says, love this Latin motto. You'll see it all in the description that I did for you. You will be a natural on TV. Thank you very much. You exude confidence. Thank you very much. You know, it's funny, and I'll be honest with you, and I've never thought to even say this. I guess it's sort of self-evident, for me anyway. The person that you see on camera here is not completely the same person that I am as soon as the camera goes off. The person I am on stage is not completely the person that I am when I get off. There's a certain amount of performance that you get from me, you know, intentional exertion of energy, that I tend to put that energy into other things during the day, with like writing, stuff like that. So be yourself, but be your best and most confident self, and don't rent pigs that let you down. Enjoyed today's talk, shared. Thank you, Jerome. And Jerome is our share master. He always reminds me that what we do is we click share every single day. That's how we build this audience and this positive group of jump starters. We'll share the ripening with my team together. Awesome. Remember, share this with others, because all of a sudden, you're making your friends and family more positive and more precious just by clicking share. Thanks, everybody. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow. We're going to conclude this. Let's see real quick. Ed Wilmot says the Latin word fermenti literally means rotting spirit. It comes from grapes that fell to the ground and rot. I love that. I think that's awesome. I love learning stuff like that. Ed and I, you are two peas in a pod. And thanks, everybody, for being in my pod today. And I look forward to having you with me again tomorrow. We're going to conclude this series, and I don't remember what it is we're going to talk about. That happens a lot of times, which is good, because today, focus on we don't rent pigs. Figure out the people who might block you from achieving this worthy goal, and begin to extricate them from your life. Extricate is a fancy word for get them the hell out. Enjoy today. Talk to you tomorrow.
No more complaining people. Their lives are changing. We're flying high, creating a complaint-free world. No more complaining people. Their lives are changing. We're flying high, creating a complaint-free world.